Hey guys out there in YouTube land, it's Dominic over at Redline Garage Fab. In this episode for Project SARG, we're going to be tackling a whole bunch of wiring. So sit tight, we'll get this turned around and I'll show you what I'm working with. All right, so on my table of spaghetti, we have the MS3 Pro that runs a Coyote. So that's the full standalone for there with the matching 12.3 digital dash. We have a 12 circuit universal harness like for a hot rod, and I picked this cool woven to give like that 40s vibe. We have the electronic power steering CAN bus fooler, so all you do is you connect these two wires to a key on, and the electric rack on the steering will actually just turn on and be powered up. We have a 6-button circuit, so this will be my switch panel, which I'm going to have on top of the roll cage. Jump for that fly. I have a set of Billy buttons, so this way I can have like 4 buttons on the steering wheel, but there's no wires, so I was really stoked to get this. We have the trans harness for the US shift controller. We have a rear view mirror camera, because obviously I'm not going to be able to see through that. And then I have a 6-circuit relay board that I got off of Amazon that actually looks pretty cool and very well made for what it is. So, and then a bunch of Deutsch connectors. So that'll be it. This episode's probably going to cover a whole bunch of this. So what I've done so far off camera is I've gotten the center console bent up and made so it goes up the dash bar in there to the harness bar in the back. My daughter helped me get the shifter with the cable down to the trans mounted. And then this is going to be my master power off. So when I ever leave the truck, this comes with me. So the truck is like dead to the world. If you can see it up here, that I just welded on. I'm just letting it cool down for the 6-button panel. So the nice thing is when I get in the truck and I turn that red key on, I can hit power here. The panel will power up, and then that, in a way, I'll have key on there, and this way it'll act as if I turn the key on. I can program one of these to a momentary. So basically, once I key on, I can then fire the truck up, and then I have 4 buttons to do ELSFAs. So probably be like running lights, headlights, and then some other things like a jellyfish rocket launcher, or you name it. But it's pretty neat. So let me get it out of here. So it's more for like a side-by-side, but it gives you a whole bunch of like options, and then this way they're matched to what you do. So I'll get some stuff figured out on here, but I'm very happy with this. I enjoy this part a lot more. Like I said, I enjoy wiring a lot because you know what? At 2 in the morning, no one hears me. So if I want to come out at 10 o'clock and just wire till morning time, not a single soul out there is knowing that I'm doing it. So I can definitely make a lot of progress at night, during the day. But like I said, I enjoy wiring. It's kind of like a chi for me once I get like everything laid out and written down. So what I do is I create like a giant, I'll get like, let's say an 11x17 piece of paper. And then I start running like, like fuel tank here, the sump up there, and I lay the truck out, and then, and then I start adding like the stuff into it. So I got a bulkhead ordered. I got to drill a hole for that. So this way I can get these wires to pass through and the EFI system to pass through. So let me get going on that and I'll get back with you guys. So this is going to be the power distribution panel. All they are is just riv nutted onto the back. I had to offset this one only because the wires actually come in through underneath. So I need to go right to the ledge of there so they could just come up, go into here, power ground, and then the trigger wires. So that's the reason why this one's there. But then what I'll do is, I'll show you in a second, but those 3 riv nuts there, that's where they're gonna bolt to. So let me get that up and I'll show you where this guy is gonna land. All right, so as you can tell, that is not behind the dash, but there's plenty. Let me see if I can get you in there. I mean, that's my fist width. So there's plenty of room there. We fed the EFI harness through. I had my girlfriend help me feed it through the firewall hole that I have right there. But there's plenty of harness to go to there. I already test fit it. I'll get the seat out and show you what's going on. All right, so I think this is where I'm going to end tonight. I'm going to come back tomorrow and do some more, but this is all set. I even did some loose zip tying, and it's actually pretty hidden underneath there. I actually like the zip ties because it gives that military vibe where they just zip tied it wherever to make it work. Then what I did was the plug and play harness from Diyautotune is super, super simple. So this was just me laying on top, quick Joe blow, just throwing it on. But if you take some time and you actually like figure out where the wires are go, I tucked the main harness behind the fuel rail and I just pulled up the injector and the coil pigtails on each cylinder. And this way it's super hidden, like this will sit down a little bit more. Then you have the VVTi sensors, and then there's an oil pressure sensor that runs that way. The throttle body, because it's a fly-by-wire throttle body, that goes underneath here. So I mean, just so much more fit and finished if you guys just take your time compared to like this side where you just throw it on a hot mess. Now, Dom's Tech Tool moment. So I love using Harbor Freight's marine heat shrink. It's $6.99 a case, and you get a whole bunch in here. And the nice thing is when you heat it up, it actually like splooges out that goo, and it seals the connectors. So it's a nice heat shrink. I buy always 2 bins at a time. I'm probably going to go back and get more with the amount of wiring this needs. And then also, see if it's inside the truck. Anytime you're cutting zip ties, get yourself a pair of flush cuts. Because I'm pretty sure a couple of you guys have done where you took a normal pair of snips, you snipped, but it left that jagged edge on the back of that cable tie, and you run your hand on it and you do something like this. So these are sweet. They're only like a couple bucks. I buy like 2-3 pair at a time because they can get messed up very easily. But it creates such a nice little flush cut to the zip tie. Kind of, let's see if I can find one in here. I hide all my zip ties. I turn them around. But again, it's fit and finish. It's something where you go to work on the car later, and then when you're doing this underneath that console, let's say, you're not getting all cut up. But I'm going to now reset, rethink the next step, and then I'll let you guys know what I'm going to work on. It's hard to get in there in video while I'm wiring all this, so I'm just going to slowly do some updates on the video of what I've been doing on the truck. So my next step is to work on the headlight switch. So this is like a universal headlight switch some race cars guys have been using. It's for like a Kubota, but it's awesome because you have different variations for headlights, a horn, and you have a turn signal. So I just got to figure out the wiring diagram tomorrow. This way I can cut this connector off and then use some like Deutsch connectors to get those going. This is where maybe a little scattered, so bear with me if it's not like the rest of the videos where it's been really informative and there's a lot of action going on. So it's just gonna be a little updates as I go through the video. But my goal is 3 weeks from today. So today is the 3rd of August. We have a Ford Garage restaurant that is in, I believe it's Sterling Heights, Utica is the location for it. So they have a Cars and Coffee August 29th. So that is my goal. So tomorrow I'm getting the intercooler all fabbed up so we can put that in for its final time. I have the trim for the grill showing up tomorrow, so I can put that on the grill. It's just like I have this laundry list and it's on my phone. So I'm just like checking it off as I can go. But yeah, I mean, just bear with me. Wiring I enjoy, but it's very all over the place for me. So like if I'm in the cab, then I hop out, then I do this. So it's hard to film. Maybe tomorrow or the next time I'm out in the garage, I'll just set up a time lapse in the corner and I'll just time lapse it. I'll shrink it down to like 40 seconds or whatever. And this way it could at least show some progress going on. But there's a couple things I need to get in the morning for the oil feed lines to the turbo. For you guys running ball bearing turbos on Coyotes, let me get it. You need an oil pressure regulator. Coyotes generate a serious amount of oil pressure. So you need this regulator to regulate down to like 40 PSI. And all you do is I run off that motion plate. I'm going to go through the valley. I'm going to tee it. Just previous to the tee, that's where the regulator will be. And then it'll run to each turbo. I got the taillights. They're all wired on each side. I just got to wire the fuel sender. That's it back here. And then I can start running the fuel pumps. So I'm just clicking away. But I'll give you an update probably tomorrow when we're doing the intercooler. So battery cables is a necessity of getting the right cables, and the right company is, let me get this open. The guys over at Battery Cables USA stepped in and they fully took care of me on battery cables. Let me get so this is their company right here, Battery Cables USA. These guys are based out of Kentucky. These guys are awesome. So as long as you place your order before 9 a.m., I believe, they will have it built and put together and shipped same day almost. Like, these guys are great. So I have double lot ground cables, and guys, like, they come ready to go. So we have 2 black ground cables. We have a negative end. Again, it's all, you set your lengths. Even the terminal ends are color coded black or red. So like, as you can see down here, there's the positive. So I've used these guys on, so I've used this company on the last 3 builds. So the F100 with that 6-liter power stroke I did, and then the F600 with that 31 cat that I had in it. The cables are phenomenal. Like, honestly, for a battery cable company, these are the guys to go to. I'll have a link in the description below. I highly, highly recommend these guys. Like, I accidentally, on this one, 2 builds back on the F100, I accidentally put a red on the negative because it was late at night when I ordered the cables. These guys called me at 9 a.m. the next morning, like, hey, Mr. Pelzo, like, we caught, I think, an error that happened on your end. We just want to make sure that you meant it, or was it a fat finger on accident? Like, their quality control when they're building these cables for you guys as the customers is phenomenal. So again, we have double lot for the grounds. I have double lot from, let's see, the batteries over here. It's going to go all the way down under to the starter, and then double lot going from the alternator around and under up to the starter. So that's going to backfeed to the battery. And then I'm going to have 4 gauge that's going to run from the battery like into the truck, and that'll be the power distribution. But I mean, oxygen free copper, like, these cables are like the bee's knees. I know it sounds corny, but these guys are awesome. Like, I cannot praise them enough. So please, if you are building a car or a hot rod, check these guys out. Highly, 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 highly recommend it. So I just got a package from AmpEFI, or is known as Diyautotune. Let's see what was in the box. After talking with the owner at Diyautotune, Steve, he was awesome to deal with. We need the drive-by-wire module to control the factory Coyote throttle body. They are just releasing this plug-and-play harness for the Coyote. So all you do is you're going to plug this connector into there, and then what you do is, let me shut off the welder. All right, so on your plug-and-play harness for your Coyote, there's these throttle harness and throttle ECU. Now, if you run a cable-driven throttle body, all you're going to do is connect those. But Diyautotune just came with their plug-and-play harness. So basically what you're going to do is one will go into here, and then this one will go into here. Obviously, this gets plugged into the module. This is the power and CAN, because then this way I'll communicate with the PCM via CAN bus. And then this guy right here is the harness that'll run to your pedal. Now, I have my pedal, I think I put it up over on the shelf to get it out of the way. Well, this is an F-150 pedal. I have my Mustang pedal, but as you can see, the color of the harnesses actually are really close. So I just got to do a pinout and figure out what wire is what, which I will update you guys with all that. I'm pretty sure in their manual, which I have to still look up their drive-by wire manual. But basically, then this goes there. and this way the throttle pedal communicates, it's happy. So let me figure out where I'm gonna mount. Let me see if I can zoom you guys out. I'm probably gonna put the drive-by-wire module here on another piece of an aluminum plate because I'm starting to add a couple more module accessories, but it's coming along. All right, so I have the drive-by-wire harness provided by Diyautotune for the Coyote. And then what I did was I took the connector that they supply with it and I pinned it to the pedal. So I kind of made it easy. So if you look from here, the green wire with the red tracer starts with 1 and then goes down. So connected to that, 1 goes to 23, which is a dark blue with gray. Pin 2 goes to drive-by-wire pin 22, which is dark blue with yellow, and then so on. So if you guys want to screenshot that for a moment, I'll hold it steady. This way you can make this little jumper harness really easy. Next is getting the power connection, the power CAN bus connection in. So I just got to figure out where that goes, and then I'll get with you guys back. Well, good morning, everybody. Well, we weren't able to get SARG started in time, but with it being Woodward weekend here in Michigan, which is like the largest car show in the world, US Auto, which is setting up down there, it's a U-Picket junkyard in Sterling Heights, which is right down the street, well, down the road from me. They invited me into their booth area. So I will be kind of showing some videos of what's going on here on Woodward. It's actually pretty empty right now, but literally within a couple hours, it is packed. It's like 40,000 cars, 1.5 million plus people come here for this day and day only. So I'll be showing you guys some of the action that's going on there. I mean, people are just parking. They tent everywhere. It's a huge event. But SARG is ready. It's looking good. So I'll show you some videos as some cars drive by. All right, guys, so it's the next day after Woodward. Sorry if I didn't get a lot of like what was going on at Woodward, or there was a lot of burnouts and stuff, but there was a whole bunch of people interested in knowing what was going on here. So I still am actually, my voice is recovering from it, but my goal this episode was to get the truck fired up for you guys, especially for me. I'm super excited to hear it. I'm having a CAN bus connection issue between the throttle body and the ECU, so I got to get on the horn with the guys at Diyautotune and see what I maybe did wrong. So that'll be in the next episode. We're going to hear it running. So in the background, as you can tell, I have the master cylinder there now, so we have a brake pedal. Finally a big milestone, but it's ready. So all I got to do now is just plumb the brakes. So I'm going to do that in the background. I'm going to bleed the brakes, and then in the next episode, we'll do the running, starting of the engine, and then just some driving around, getting it dialed in before we start making some boost. Within the next episode, what I'll do is I got a buddy of mine, Dom. So yeah, 2 Doms, actually 3 Doms with my son. We will make the charge pipes. So I'm going to drive it to his shop and we'll fab all the charge pipes up. So that'll be a next episode as well. But I appreciate you sticking along. I know this was kind of a boring episode, but wiring's got to get done. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of Woodward. I wish I could have shown you more. I was just very, very tied up talking about the truck with everybody, which was amazing to talk to everyone. So just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that ring bell. Catch you guys on the next one.